Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to Endless Legend Wild Walker's Guide / playthrough / something part number 4. And there's not one, not two, but 3 enemy armies roaming around my region, so I can tell you for a fact we're going to have a very action-packed start. However, before I start killing all those infidels that are trying to conquer my lands, I need to stress out that after quitting the game last time, I had a quick look at the score screen. Yes, this game has a very good, nice, detailed score screen with graphs and whatnot, and it's going to be improved for the head as well. I can't wait to show it to you guys because it's a work of art in my eyes. It tells you so much. Anyway, what it told me, in fact, is that I'm the second best player in this game in most areas, but Necrophages are number 1 in all areas, including military, which is slightly scary, but nothing I cannot deal with. As I said, AI is not too bad for an alpha game, but it's not where it needs to be yet. So I'll probably be able to deal with that quite easily. Now, another thing is, well, I would love to attach a hero to this army that I'm going to attack my quest target soon, but unfortunately my hero, as you can see right now, is locked for another 4 turns, so it's not going to happen. I'll attack without my hero, but I'll take some more damage as a result, which makes me a little bit worried, because those guys are actually scary. Now, that's interesting. Ball streets are going to now take infinite time. I guess this might be because the city is under siege. I'm not sure actually. I've never tried making ball streets whilst under siege. It never happened that I was able to test that. So I'm happy I did. And apparently you cannot actually make barrel streets when you are being besieged. Good to know. Either way, I will need a ranger, so might as well make one. I've got enough gold to buy out one of those, but I would much rather buy out something else, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure what I would want to buy out, though. Either way, let's not make you wait for the battle any longer. I know you want to see a battle, and I'm actually wondering how I should approach those guys, but I think that's a very okay way of attacking them. So let's go into manual. Yep. And let's settle my units, position my units in optimal area. So immediately I want to be on high ground, so obviously I'm going to move my archers back over there. It is also the end of area where I can actually deploy my troops. As you can see, I cannot deploy them over here, here or here, because that would be too far away from the enemy, so you cannot just go overboard. But this is actually a problem, because this area can be very easily attacked from the right flank. So if I put the other right there, then he will most assuredly, maybe not get killed, but he'll take some serious damage from this guy charging in from this area. I can just see it happening, and I don't like it. I have to admit, I don't. So what I could do, there isn't much I can do. It's the very edge of the battlefield for me. I could try to move into this position, but no, that would be slightly better actually. I wouldn't have this hero advantage right there, but I think I'm overestimating the value of that. So let's move slightly. Make sure that I'm covering my archers perfectly. And now I actually don't care about this gap all that much. I do kinda, because I can still be attacked from the left flank, from high ground, but it's not a very big deal, and I'm not sure if AI is smart enough to actually try something like this. So yeah, my deal with the others, you're going to hold your ground, not let any cavalry go through, because I definitely want to protect my archers. Meanwhile, my archers, who's the first on initiative? This guy, but he's too far away from those archers, so I'll not attack him. Instead, are you... oh, this is this guy. I could focus fire on him, I guess I might as well. Because this guy's obviously too far away to reach me. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the ability to do that. By the way, as you can see, they'll send... oh no. I forgot to go for hold position on those archers. I just lost... no. Well, so now what happened is my archers decided to protect my nervous from being attacked head on. That's what happens when you forget to put some of your units into hold position. Ouch, this is going to hurt a lot. No, I'm not sure if I can watch this. Yeah, that's what happens when you make a silly mistake, unfortunately. At least those devils will be able to attack the cavalry, but I'll not be able to save my archers at all, ever. They are just dead. They ventured out of this starting zone because I didn't press the hold position. I was wondering why I have so much range, but I was like, maybe I forgot about the range of those guys. No, I just have 3 hectares of range. If I make it something that is further away, they will move forwards. And that's something I, in this situation, don't want. Thankfully, my devils are actually doing a fairly decent-ish job weakening this cavalry, so they cannot immediately kill all my archers. Maybe I'll actually save this one squad. Would be nice, but... actually, yeah, they are doing a pretty good job at protecting the squad. It's very nice. Yeah, I want the all cavalry. I know my commentary wasn't very amazing at the start of this video with this battle and whatnot, but I'm sorry, I was so shocked by the fact that my units just kind of walked out and charged at the enemy, even though they were archers and fighting cavalry. But they walked out in the end, mostly because I had better levels, better equipment, and just more guys in general. Yeah, I did take some losses though, and I'm not sure if I should attack this Necrophage army, but then again, flyers are just okay against infantry, but they do not have any bonuses or maluses against infantry. Meanwhile, archers have a very big bonus against flyers, so I think if I were not dumb in the next fight, I should still be able to kill those Necrophages, and I do not want to be under siege. Because I don't trust those guys not to enter my town and just conquer it outright. So I'll go ahead and attack. It will be quite a difficult battle because Necrodrones, even though they do not get any bonus for being flying against my units, they are still pretty tough. They still do a very nice amount of damage, and in general, they're one of the better units, honestly, in the game. They kinda do not feel like this, if you know what I mean, but they certainly are up there with the scariness level. Anyway, let's move my army backwards and try to protect our flanks, which will be very difficult, unfortunately. But keep in mind, after I start the battle, I cannot order my units to move around a little bit. Anyway, this guy is actually fairly weak, so I think what I'll do is move him back somewhere, so he's safer, and move, like, this regiment, or this one, to his place. Or I could do it right now, to make sure that those guys will not F me over in some way. That's probably a smart idea. You cannot swap places with another unit just yet, this is something that will be implemented later. Alright then, this time, everybody hold position. That's something I should have clicked. Once you start a battle, you can choose your default behavior, and you can switch it to hold position, and I should have done so in this scenario, but that's okay. Anyway, even though I'm holding position, I can now tell my guys to actually move around, and they'll hold the position after moving. So, let's think, how do I want to handle this? I just realized there's no cliff between this area and this area, is there? Nope, there isn't. So, if somebody is smart enough to attack me from this side, then my people will be in danger. And Necrodrones, they might do it. I think they have a fairly easy way of getting over there. So let's think how I want to handle this. I think I'll just tell you guys to get there ASAP. And you... I'll keep over here, I think. No, actually, you know what? Those guys will be on the defensive. And I'll move them back, so after, the next turn, after they finish the order of moving back, they'll actually go ahead, walk forward and protect my guys wherever they are needed. So I think it's a pretty good idea to move them back a little bit, so that they can reposition themselves later on. Sadly, I didn't have the range to attack any of the Necrodrones this turn, so my rangers were... Yeah, well, ultimately they wasted a 10, but it's okay. At least I didn't get attacked, and the Necrodrones, they will not actually have a range to attack me, I don't think. They have to go around the city, as you can see, so I should be more or less good to go. This turn will not have any fight going on. But I will actually be able to open fire next turn on the Necrodrones, which is fairly nice. Those guys will continue moving to their designed position, but now, oh, that's fairly bad. They stopped in a low area, and they can be attacked from uphill. Actually, I'm not sure if this is something that should be changed. I mean, flying units should always have the upper terrain advantage in my eyes. I mean, I guess those guys maybe get tired after flying for too long, so this would explain it law-wise, why they did not always have height advantage. That's something I need to think about. Maybe mention it on the developer forums or something. Interesting thought. Why not? Why not mention it? Anyway, something cool that I didn't show you yet. There is a battle going on, right? I can just quit it. Right? No, I cannot quit it while I'm watching it. Sorry, never mind. I can quit it while I'm deploying it, or while somebody else is playing it, probably. But I cannot quit it right now. So, my units are kinda holding the ground, but I lost the other squad already. So there is a problem, and the enemy has 3 Necrodons left. One of them is actually has full health as well, which is not the best. So I'm gonna move this level back. He's going to die otherwise, no doubt about that. So, protect my right flank so those guys cannot go around me. I don't want to move my archers though. So let's hope those guys are not smart enough to go over here and attack me. That's my hope, at any rate. And actually what I should have done is told my archers to attack on the weakest unit, but actually they did it on their own, which is nice. They're fairly smart, actually. Surprisingly so. So again, alpha game is alpha, but in some areas Endless Legion does not feel like alpha. It just feels like... Well, let me put this way. Developers really want this game to be on early access, right? Because they want to get more, you know, info from other players, while they can still make drastic changes to the game. So if you tell them, ooh, you should remove cities, they will do it if... I mean, they won't. But let's say you say something less controversial, they would actually listen to you. If you made sense in your request. And I'm actually going to lose this battle, which is fairly annoying. But anyway... so that's why they wanted this game to be on early access as early as possible. They also wanted to leave a good impression, so that's why they wanted to hold on for as long as possible to make this game as polished as possible before it reaches everybody. Anyway, Necrodrones absolutely obliterated my army. As I said, those guys are not to be ignored. They are very, very powerful. And even though I had one ranger, that was simply not enough. And now I have nobody defending this city. So I think it's about time I actually spam some more rangers. Now, actually, let's make this construction queue slightly larger. I will need a dredge probably to just soak up a little bit of damage, so let's do that and then get a bunch of rangers. I only could get 2 units this particular turn, but I'll get something to defend my city if they decide to assault the city. Because when you attack a city, by the way, you have 2 options. You can either besiege it or assault it. Obviously, assault will end up with the city being conquered much faster. Anyway. Let's actually clear out this army, and those units, by the way, in case you are wondering, they are the cavalry for the Broken Lords. I haven't used them a lot. In my eyes, this is actually a fairly weak unit. As you can see, the stats are nothing near as nice as the Necrodrones. And sure, they can move around quite fast, they can charge. But in general, I just see them as a pretty poor cavalry, and if I have the option of making either those guys or the basic infantry for the Broken Lords, I'll always make the basic infantry, because it's just... basic infantry for Broken Lords is really solid, whereas those guys are just lame. They're very fast, and that's about the only good thing I can tell about them. And they will not be fast enough, trust me. So anyway, let's move my devils into the first position. You know the drill by now. And yeah, that's just one unit. I don't think I need to go for any special strategy. I can actually charge at the enemy. You know what? I might actually do it. Do I have enough range for my ranged units? No, that is the answer. Whatever, they walk forward slightly, and then the devils should walk forwards as well and protect those archers, so it should be okay. And for some reason, devils started with 10 first. I guess that's because those guys decided to skip the 10 for some reason. And now those guys are actually going to go past my devils. Well, that's annoying, but still, I have so much firepower, I'm not worried at all. Those guys are really wimpy, look at that. One salvo, they're half dead. And they do not get any bonus or malus against ranged units, whereas the Necrodrones we've seen before, they got increased damage against rangers. I mean, they take more damage from rangers, and they did way better than this Broken Lords cavalry. So really, I do not see much use for Broken Lords cavalry, other than having them as the best scouts in the entire game. Because as I said, they are very fast, and that's about it. There is nothing else to them. I almost feel like they should be buffed, because I don't know why I would want them. Maybe they are okay against fighting other cavalry. That's something I've been thinking for a while. You can actually, if I remember correctly, equip the Broken Lords cavalry with kind of like, I don't remember the correct medieval term for it, but they kind of like those half pikes, lances. I think that's lances. So they are kind of nice against the enemy cavalry, even though they are cavalry themselves. So there's that. And by the way, another quest. Lucky me, I guess. I wasn't able to find any, and now I keep finding those. And this is actually fairly cool. If you remember, those ruins were are the place where I found the last bit of the previous quest I got. The one that told me to scout around the area and just keep cramming quests. Now, just because I said those ruins to fulfill the last quest, doesn't mean that there is no more treasure inside those ruins. So in this case, I was able to search those ruins again, and I got another quest, which just says that I need to settle a new city in a new region in 15 towns, and I guess in Dust Orchid. Which is actually, you may not believe it, but despite playing for dozens and dozens of hours of Endless Legend, I never found on the map. But you know me by now probably, and you know my luck. Sometimes I just do not find things. It's also entirely possible that Dust Orchid, or Orchid, or whatever it's called, is a fairly rare job, and you need some fairly advanced tools to extract it as well. So that would explain why I wasn't able to find it yet. It was both lack of luck and also other reasons. So if I want to complete this quest, I have to settle a city myself, which I would most likely do over here. And in order to do that, I need a strong escort and enough population to transfer into settlers, which I can do. This city has 6 population, which is a decent amount. I can easily make more population with the amount of food I have in this city. But obviously the problem is right now I need armies. And while I'm moving an army to save the other city right now, it will take a while still. So I'm not terribly happy about this. And look at that, another neutral army that was going to soften me up. Those are 3 ramblers, but I think that with my equipment advantage and possibly experience advantage, what is my level? Level 2, level 2, that's something I guess. But I should be able... that's 3 of the ramblers. Ramblers are actually scary in larger numbers. I think I'll try to avoid them. I have 5 more turns to kill them, so I'll try to avoid them, kill the Necrodrones, reinforce with the units from Morsia, and then be on my merry way. Now, do I want to attack the Necrodrones? I have 2 units, and those Necrodrones are half dead. So if I play this optimally, I could possibly win this fight. Keep in mind, I would have to deploy in a city though, so I would probably actually lose it. So let's not do anything, let's stay in a siege for a bit longer. The more I stay in the siege, the more I risk losing my city. But I should be able to recapture it fairly easily regardless. I might lose some structures in it, don't get me wrong, and I might lose some population as well. But I'm willing to take this risk. I don't think the enemy will take it this turn or anything. I think that this is very unlikely. Yeah, it's still safe and whatnot. Neutral army moved slightly, which is annoying because that's where I wanted to go through. But it's okay. Let's walk a little bit closer to the city. 1 turn until I have a 3rd ranger in this army, then it will be easily able to attack the Necrodrones and probably win as well. Because rangers... I mean, sure, last fight I lost even though I had superior numbers, but now my units will have full health and the enemy does not have full health, so that's the difference that should make it for me. Also gold, because why not? It's actually molten gold to make it even more awesome. Actually, if you watch Game of Thrones, you may have some second thoughts about molten gold being awesome, but I still think it's awesome. I mean, it's molten gold. Anyway, my main city, after leaving my auxiliary regiment and making it go to save the other city, I think I just need more units. But what I also would like to have, just to show you how it works, is get a booster. So let's go ahead. I mean, you've seen how boosters work in the introducing video. So maybe I don't need to show it to you. I really need more units, however. So to make a bunch of rangers, this city is going to be my ranger production city, because obviously I can make dredgers faster and easier in the Morsia. I'm half tempted to actually retrofit my dredgers with better weapons so I can kill those ramblers. You know what, for the time being, let's do just that. I've got plenty of titanium I can reinforce and buy... Oh, I forgot! I've got accessories. Right, so as you can see, accessories are very nice things that can be worn by everybody, and they just increase your stats in very glorious ways. So for example, this ring will increase my defense and initiative, not necessarily something I want. This one increases my critical by 1. No. Not stats by 1, it just gives me ability that's called critical 1. Confidence 1, I actually don't remember what confidence is, so apologies, I'm not going to equip that. And this gives me sharp sense, that's not too useful on the walls either. I'm not sure if I really want to equip them with anything, I'm really not. Then again, for this particular battle, I think I just... 4 glass steel each. No, I will not equip them with that. I do have plenty of titanium that I'm not using though, so I think I'm gonna give them a shield maybe. That's actually... It's only 1 extra defense though. It's actually a fairly tough choice. That's 1 extra you know what? No, I'm way too cheap to actually do that. What I will do, however, is improve my rangers, because with my rangers I'm willing to spend all manner of equipment on. They do not need more defense, they improved critical would be nice on those guys, confidence, not important, sharp sense, possibly, but they're already costing me quite a bit of glass steel, so I think just to use titanium instead of glass steel, I'll go ahead for improved critical. So as you can see, it's right there. There is no tooltip for it just yet. It will be later. Keep in mind, alpha is alpha. I'm stressing this a lot just to make sure that you are aware of this fact. Now, do I actually want to replace this bow with a tier 2 bow that would deal 7 damage in total and plus 8 to critical? This gives me, what, 6 damage in total and plus 4 to critical plus 4 to initiative. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go for tier 2 iron bow because it's marginally better, at least in my eyes. So let's do that. None of those guys cost no glass steel, but they deal more damage, right? I'm not looking at this wrong. No, 7 compared to 6. Yeah, it's a straight up improvement in this regard. I mean, they will have less initiative, but I can sacrifice a bit of initiative on those guys. So let's apply the changes. And I don't actually have the money to retrofit any of those guys, so all of this was actually ultimately meaningless, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's end the turn. So what is happening? Those guys are just walking back and forth, taunting me like they're boss or something. I really need to kill them. 4 returns are about to end. I have 4 units, however, in my city, and I can use those units to kill the Necrodrones quite easily, I assume. So let's go for offensive. 2 units will actually stay. Alright, I didn't finish. Ah, I forgot I didn't finish making this borrow street, so I can only deploy 2 of them at the start of the game. That's very annoying. I'll gain reinforcements in this battle, so I'll win regardless, but I'll take more damage than I would otherwise like to. So let's go into the battle screen. And there isn't anything I could do over here, unfortunately. So let's just deploy. And let's see, what do I want to do? I most surely want to focus fire on everything. Now, let's see, who will have the high ground advantage? Probably I will, but I want to... You know, this guy's half dead already. If I focus on him, then this will be... If I kill him before he acts, then I will take care of a lot of enemy firepower early on. So that's exactly what I want to happen. So let's do just that. This guy is almost dead, but not quite. As I said, they are very tough to kill, those little bastards. But he should be dead after my dwarf's charge. And actually they're dead already, so that's nice. Now I'm going to engage in a combat against this guy, make sure that he cannot walk forward. And I'm taking a ton of damage, aren't I? That's okay though, my archers should be able to deal this amount of damage themselves. And I am going to win this game with losses, considerable losses. As I said, Necrophages are not to be ignored, they are very scary. But I have so many rangers that I will not take any more damage after now. So battle is won, not without losses. I have taken some damage, but it's okay. It's okay. And the siege has been stopped, so that's very important. My town can now prosper normally and just keep developing and whatnot. And now I can actually attack this group, and I'll do this more than happily with all my units. Unfortunately, I cannot move all of my units into this army because I do not have enough places in my army. So let's not move the dredgers. Actually, how many dredgers do they have? 2? 2 is kinda good enough. Yeah, let's make this a glass tier army. So I'm going to move 2 additional rangers, reinforce this army to have up to 6 units, and the number didn't update for some reason. Do you want to move in a hero? No, I cannot even do that. So let's just... Ooh, the enemy would actually have the high ground advantage now. I'll try to lure him out, I guess, and do just that. Let's default to hold position and go for manual. Also, this one last dredge will actually join my battle as well later on, because he's over there. The game knows he's there, but he's not part of my original army, so he'll only be considered a reinforcement instead of joining the battle right away. Which is a cool mechanic, by the way. Similar to what we've seen in Age of Wonders, actually, even though those two guys are nowhere near similar, as you are probably aware. Alright. Let's actually move my dwarves forward so that, you know, they do not take any extra damage or anything from being on the low ground. Let's move my archers slightly forward as well, just so that they can always fire the enemy. Actually, those guys can be a little bit further back. You actually didn't... no. I didn't want them to go over there. Actually, maybe I do. Because if I'll have good enough initiative, and I can just move those devils over here and they'll fix the choke points. So it's all good. So you go over there, you go over there so you're not on the low ground in case I lose my front line. And yep, I have superior initiative as I thought. So you move over there and just do whatever you want. Meanwhile, as for my archers, you all hold positions, but fire barrages at those guys and it should be okay. He should die very, very quickly. The other guys, maybe not so much, but I'll still do a considerable amount of damage. So 15 damage per salvo. This guy should be dead. Yeah, he will be dead, but I'll lose all my barrages firing at this guy. Still, it's a worthwhile investment. He will not be able to do any damage to me, and as a result, my army will be more safer, I guess is the correct word. So let's have a quick look how... Yeah, I was actually, with my superior equipment, again, which is a very important part of the game, I was actually able to deal more damage to the enemy than he was able to do to me. Even though he's a big stumpy dude and he was on high ground, but ow! Now there's the sweep in action. He was able to attack multiple of my units at once. And this is a slide back. Sometimes the game displays the wrong portrait for the enemy units. That usually happens when you take too many battles in quick succession. And again, minor bug, you need to be aware that those things happen when you buy an early alpha product. Early access I meant. So anyway, so far we've played very intense, we've just had battles after battles, but after that we should have a little bit more of a peaceful time for a few more turns. That's where I'll recreate my economical power, and then I'll be able to launch a successful assault at the voters. But first of all, I need to actually recreate my primary army to do that. So either way, This battle went splendid. My army is barely damaged at all. I can actually march towards the Vortex region and see what awaits me there, just to, you know, scout around a little bit, and in case they are weak and undefended, I can actually attack them straight on, which shouldn't be the worst idea ever. Meanwhile, you decided to continue scouting, and more broken laws. Those guys are very far away from me though, so if I get the take, I'll consider going for a peace treaty with them. By the way, we're probably fairly close to where I am. Yeah, as you can see, the map is looping, so this is the left side of the map, the west, and this is the east, so it is looping. But since we are playing with Pangea setting, there is probably no connection, there's probably just an ocean between those two areas, so yeah. So we cannot loop around endlessly, but if we play with oceans disabled or something, or if when there is naval transportation in the game, which will be implemented later, then you'll actually be able to, you know, go across the sea and invade other people, which will be cool. There will also be air transportation, by the way, at some point. I remember reading about it a very, very long time ago, but I haven't seen anything that would indicate that this is a removed feature. For what I know, it's still planned at some point. Don't get your hopes up, it will still take a long time, and I had my unit selected, didn't I? Yeah, I totally did. So let's explore a bit of nothingness and missed an opportunity of ruins. That's okay though. I think I'm going to move my hero to motion now. I do not need him necessarily leading my armies. I may want to move my hero to lead my army when I attack the Vortex though, but I think I have a peacetime for another like 5 turns or something, so let's use up all the production I can get to get even more armies. And actually, a settler, and oh, well, I guess I'm not going to settle a city in a new region in X number of turns. I guess I could do so in Kwang, but Kwang, when you look at it, it has nothing. It has a bit of glass steel, it doesn't even have any anomaly. Well, it does have a anomaly. Escape Specimens is a decent one, since it gives you a decent boost to a lot of things, but it's only decent, and I don't see any other anomalies, so there's no real reason to actually... Oh wait, there's something. No, that's just High Mountain Forest. It's just decent by itself. That's because there's also a river nearby. So I do not see a reason to go ahead and settle over here. Then again, there are Erikis. Yeah, you know what, just because I want to assimilate Erikis at some point, I may want to settle in this region. Or I could go for the desert down below, which features more glass steel, some salt desert that is half decent, but not that amazing. It also has this massive tree, but because of those ruins, you cannot actually make a city on top of ruins right now, which is fairly annoying. So it would be very difficult for me to gain access to this massive tree and the salt desert. I'm not sure if I want to settle here. There's quite a bit of food though for a desert biome, believe me. A decent amount of production. No forests though, and I need forests to prosper. And this area has actually quite a lot of forests. Maybe I'll settle here. How much time do I have anyway? So a quick look, I've got 11 turns. I can do it quite easily with a hero. So let's go ahead and make a settler. Give him a bit of a dredger production and make some more rangers as well. Why not? I'm focusing on industry production a lot, obviously. You just said just stay in a city, I guess. There's no reason to have you not in a city. Hey, I said stay in a city. No? Okay, I'll walk you out of the city like a good little boy and move you back into a city. Whereas you guys, I really need to discover what is inside those ruins, because I never did, and they are one of the first ruins I ever found. So it's kinda funny, annoying, and hilarious at the same time. Anyway, I don't think I need more rangers right now. They cost me quite a bit of resources, and I don't think they are necessary in my hometown at this point in time. So just go for what I'm going for. So, 1 extra ranger to protect my city from small raiding parties. And then I'll go for food boosters, which I think is a fair idea. So a lot of things happened, I gained more population, people are actually closing on my territory, but I think those are just scouting parties. As I said, when AI sends a singular cavalry unit on your territory, it usually doesn't mean much. It usually means that AI is just scouting around and thinking what it can do that is nasty to you and whatnot. It's nothing you should really terribly worry about. Meanwhile, how many turns do I can go for new Empire plans? I've got plenty of time, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's just continue focusing on production, I guess. So after I'm done with the steel houses, I will go for another borough streets, maybe? Maybe, but where would I want to make it? Possibly in the forest, I can make my way towards this wonder, and I will make a very N ladder with my city. Why not? You can actually do that, so let's do that. Make a new borough streets on top of this anomaly, so you have giant floating dangerous looking rocks that could fall over on your house inside our city. Why not? It sounds like a sensible solution to all of our problems. Meanwhile, even more cover for the enemy. I don't really care. They might attack me. They can, obviously, we are at Cold War, so they can do that. So let's instead run away. And oh, I didn't see this one coming. So there's also a Necrophage city. They have a lot of cities, don't they? Well, actually, they have 3 at the very least, but 3 is still a decent amount. And actually, what the? I'm blind. I can still sit over here. I could swear there used to be a city there. Did it just? Was it raised? I swear there was a city over there, but maybe I'm just blind. You can raise cities, so it's possible that Broken Lords invaded and raised the city, but I think I would have noticed that. Some very strange things. Oh, I forgot! Ruins! Ruins fast! Most important, extra dust. Very nice. So I can buy out something if I choose to do so. I probably will not do so right now. I would like to save my dust to buy out structures in my new city when I can. Also, I have to kill this last guy, otherwise I'll fail my quest. That's okay, I should be able to do so quite easily. So let's kill this guy. The game says that he has kind of chance of not dying, but that is obviously not the case. I should be able to just attack him head on and be able to ultimately crush him. I don't even think I need to protect my rangers. I will be able to just attack him. So let's move my rangers to like over here-ish. I'm not sure if I'll be able to attack over those rocks. Probably not, actually. But let's try it anyway. I think my rangers will just move over to like this position and then attack, which would be okay. No, they can actually shoot over rocks. That's good. That's good. I wasn't sure, actually. I didn't remember this one bit. So yeah, now my guys are going to charge. They will take some decent amount of damage from charging, but since this cavalry is kind of wimpy, it actually did a lot of damage. Surprise, surprise. But it doesn't matter. They got killed anyway. And also, as you've seen, those guys didn't have Soul Siphon for some reason, so they weren't able to leech life out of my Delvers. Well, too bad for them, I guess, otherwise they would have lived for a bit longer, and maybe they would have killed my Delvers, but they didn't, so they're dead. That's okay for me. Anyway, in a few turns we will have winter. It's surprising that it took so long for me to actually have winter, and still no winter. In 2 turns we will definitely have one, but... Well, what? Where is this battle? They're assaulting my city when I had a settler inside. Those necrophages bastards! That is not very nice, I've gotta tell you that. Okay, first of all, level up my hero a little bit to lower the assignment cooldown. Thank you. I cannot believe that. But I will have hero in my army, I'm pretty sure now. So, I need to end my video cast right now. It's not as long as my others are, but I actually, as I explained, it has been a bit since the last video cast uploaded, so I need this one to upload ASAP, so you guys do not starve for videos. So I need to finish recording it right now, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But I'll show you the battle. I know you want battles, and this video is just so battle-centric, I might as well continue with the trend. So it's going to manual. I should have clicked hold position by default, because I'm going to do just that. Although not with the settlers, no, I am not. So anyway. Battle. I think it backed out. Well, I suppose it's a good idea to actually end my video here. After all, it was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Power. If you somehow managed to enjoy my videocast, then please, by all means, like it. 6910, also number. And leave your support in the form of comments, likes, and whatnot. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.